Mom, is that him? Is that the dad we've been looking for all this time? A soft, curious child's voice cuts through the quiet, breaking the tense stillness hanging over the grand wedding venue. For 40 long minutes, Nia had sat frozen, her gaze glued to a single page of her textbook, trapped in a spiral of panic no one could fully see. When her kid pulls her from her trance, she forces a steady tone, brushing off concern. "I'm fine," but the gentle persistence of the person beside her lingers, pointing out the obvious truth she's been trying to hide. She's been stuck, paralyzed by anxiety, for nearly an hour. The root of her panic is simple, yet crushing. Professor Harris had moved their exam forward an entire week, leaving Nia hopelessly behind on coursework she already struggled to grasp. Every formula, every chapter concept felt foreign, and the weight of failing her classes loomed heavy over her shoulders. Sensing her quiet despair, Ethan steps in, ready to help, even when Nia insists she doesn't need anyone's support. He refuses to back down, pressing gently to pinpoint her struggles. And when she admits she's lost on every single section of the material, he makes a quiet, firm decision to start from the very beginning with her. Confused and guarded, Nia questions his kindness. They're practically strangers, after all. So why would he go out of his way to help someone he barely knows? Ethan's answer is simple, genuine, and far rarer than most people realize. He sees her struggle, and unlike the majority of people in the world who rush past others' pain to prioritize their own lives, he chooses to slow down, to show up without expectation. Gratitude washes over Nia, a deep, sincere thankfulness for his selflessness, and they strike a quiet pact. Same time tomorrow, he'll be back to keep helping her catch up. It's in these quiet, unguarded moments that Nia dares to voice a fear she's carried her entire life. A quiet burden countless people grapple with but rarely speak aloud. She asks Ethan if he's ever felt like the world has already mapped out his identity, his future, his purpose, before he even gets a chance to discover who he truly wants to be. Before we get to choose our own path, everyone around us, family, society, tradition, locks us into a version of ourselves they find acceptable. Ethan doesn't hesitate with his reply. He lives with that exact pressure every single day. His entire family operates on strict rules of legacy, status, and preordained success. A pre-planned business career, elite social connections, a perfect family reputation. Every detail curated to uphold the Carter name. For years, Ethan convinced himself this rigid, pre-written future was what he wanted. But as he's grown older, he's come to realize he's just living inside a painting someone else drew for him, trapped in a life that was never truly his own. His words strike a chord deep within Nia, and she offers him the quiet, life-changing advice no one has ever given him. Stop waiting for others to hand you a better life. Pick up your own pencil, rewrite your own story, and take full control of your destiny. It sounds deceptively simple in theory. They both know that breaking free from lifelong family expectations and societal norms is never easy. But it's the only way to live an authentic life, one that truly belongs to you, not anyone else. In that moment, Ethan realizes Nia believes in him more than he believes in himself. She sees the man he's capable of becoming, far beyond the confined legacy his family has forced on him. He makes a quiet vow then, when he finally becomes that better, freer version of himself, he wants Nia right there beside him. They take turns painting their dream futures for each other, raw and unfiltered. No societal standards or family demands attached. Nia's dream is rooted in kindness and second chances. She wants to build a free school for overlooked people, older adults who never had access to formal education, people who fell through the cracks of society, people who feel embarrassed or unworthy to learn and grow. She wants a safe space for them to thrive, plus a small peaceful home with a garden, a quiet life free from the pressure of grand legacies. Ethan's dream is centered entirely on building a life with her, a big enough house where their future kids can run and play freely, filling every corner with laughter, so the home never feels empty or quiet. When they banter about how many kids they'll have, It's clear they're both envisioning a permanent, lifelong future together. Fueled by his genuine love and commitment, Ethan invites Nia home to meet his family that weekend, specifically wanting his mother to meet the woman who's consumed his heart and his time. Nia hesitates, well aware of the rumors surrounding the Carter family, especially Ethan's mother, a woman known for her strict standards, obsession with legacy, and uncompromising expectations for who joins their family. Despite her doubts, she agrees to go, trusting Ethan's love will outweigh his family's judgment. Before the visit, she makes him promise one thing: if things go wrong, he won't stay silent just to keep the peace. He swears he'll stand by her side through everything. The family visit starts pleasantly enough. Ethan's mother greets Nia warmly, asking about her background, her Georgia roots, her teacher mother, construction worker, father, and her college major in education and community development. Nia shares her dream of creating inclusive learning spaces for underserved adult learners, a mission the older woman initially praises as admirable and noble. But the warmth fades the second Nia steps out of the room for a moment. Ethan's mother wastes no time laying out her cold, calculated perspective. She tells her son that kindness and good character are wonderful traits, but they alone cannot build a lasting family legacy. A Carter man's partner must bring more than heart to the table. They must bring status, stability, and alignment with the family's lifelong goals. She warns Ethan not to let his affection for Nia blind him to the bigger picture of his family's future. Nia overhears every word, and her heart sinks instantly. She recognizes exactly what's happening. Ethan's mother is measuring her, judging her humble background and service, focused dreams as insufficient for the Carter legacy. Crushed and insecure, she confronts Ethan, hurt that he stayed silent while his mother diminished her worth and her life's purpose. Ethan's failure to defend her cuts deeper than his mother's harsh words. Determined to stop letting outside judgment dictate their future, Nia shifts their focus from uncertain someday dreams to tangible right-now action. She brings up engagement rings, refusing to treat their love and future marriage like a distant plan. She wants to start building their life together immediately. No more waiting for family approval or perfect timing. When Ethan agrees to shop for rings with her, Nia makes him swear a pivotal promise. Their marriage will always come first, above fancy weddings, guest lists, flowers, or societal appearances. Their bond, not a performative celebration, is what matters most. But the Carter family's obsession with control and legacy creeps back in before they can move forward with their plans. Ethan's mother presses them relentlessly about starting a family, dismissing their wedding planning as trivial compared to continuing the Carter bloodline. She insists love is not enough to build a family legacy, security, and guaranteed continuity are the only things that matter. Pushing her strict practicality further, she demands they complete fertility testing before their wedding, claiming it's a responsible step to avoid future surprises and ensure the family's future is secure. Nia is instantly wary, recognizing the test as just another way the Carter family is evaluating her worth, judging her ability to serve their legacy. She confronts Ethan, asking if this is truly his idea, or if he's just complying with his mother's demands to avoid conflict. Ethan admits he sees logic in the testing, arguing it's better to face medical challenges up front than later in life. After a tense conversation, Nia agrees on one non-negotiable condition: whatever the results reveal, they will face them together, as equal partners, not as a one-sided judgment of her worth. The test results bring devastating, unexpected news for both of them. Doctors inform Ethan his sperm count is low, making conception far more difficult, though not impossible. To make matters worse, Nia also has significant reproductive complications, meaning their journey to pregnancy will require extensive medical intervention, patience, and ongoing support. Neither of them faces a permanent barrier to having children, but the path forward is far harder than they ever imagined. Overwhelmed by the weight of the news, Nia needs space to process. But Ethan insists they uphold their together promise. No more hiding, no more processing alone. Before they can fully unpack their grief and fear, Ethan's mother arrives unannounced, immediately seizing the results as proof of her earlier concerns. She coldly declares that a Carter heir needs a partner who can secure the family's future, dismissing Nia's reproductive struggles as an unacceptable risk to the family legacy. For the first time, Nia pushes back fiercely, pointing out that Ethan also has medical challenges. This is a shared struggle, not her personal failure, but the damage is already done. The pressure crushes Ethan, and in a moment of fear and weakness, he voices his darkest, most hurtful thought. What if Nia never gives him children? After she stood by him through failing grades and shattered confidence, his doubt shatters Nia's heart completely. She accuses him of blaming her, of viewing her as a liability now that she can't deliver the perfect legacy his family demands. Ethan breaks down, admitting he's terrified, not just of infertility, but of failing his family, of losing the future he'd envisioned. But instead of leaning on each other through their shared fear, they pull apart, broken and betrayed. Nia begins to question if their relationship is worth wasting more years of her life on a love conditional on perfection and legacy. In the chaos of their heartbreak and conflict, the pair splits up, their dream future crumbling entirely. Months later, a stunned Nia receives life-altering news: she's 7 weeks pregnant. After being told conception would be extremely difficult, against all medical odds, she's expecting triplets. The news is overwhelming, compounded by the fact that she's completely alone. She ended things with Ethan, and has no intention of telling him about the pregnancy, trapped in the complicated aftermath of their toxic family conflict and painful breakup. Her doctor stresses that a triplet pregnancy is high risk, requiring constant medical monitoring, emotional support, and practical help. Support she has no one to give her. Overwhelmed and physically exhausted, Nia collapses on a city curb one afternoon, where Malik finds her. A familiar face from her college days, Malik remembers how Nia selflessly helped him fight a critical academic appeal years prior, refusing any credit or reward for her kindness. He immediately notices her pale, drained state and the prenatal vitamins in her bag, seeing straight through her "I'm fine" facade. When Nia finally admits she's pregnant with triplets and navigating the entire journey alone, Malik refuses to let her carry the weight by herself. He rejects her insistence on avoiding charity, framing his help as a long overdue repayment for her past kindness. Without hesitation, he offers her a safe, quiet home with zero conditions or expectations, just a place to rest, heal, and prepare for her babies. He promises to support her fully until she finds her footing again. Malik's quiet, unwavering support becomes Nia's lifeline. He addresses his entire household staff the next morning, making it clear Nia is under his full protection, deserving of the exact same respect as him. He prioritizes her comfort and safety above all else, going out of his way to remove every possible stressor from her life. He schedules appointments with the city's top high-risk pregnancy specialist, arranges 24/7 transportation and emergency support, and educates her on every potential risk: preterm labor, preeclampsia, fetal growth discordance, and the strict nutrition and stress management routine triplet pregnancies require. Months of careful monitoring pass, but at 32 weeks, Nia goes into sudden preterm labor. Panic erupts, but Malik stays calm, acting instantly to get her to the hospital. Through every painful moment of labor, Nia's only plea is for her 3 babies to survive, no matter what happens to her. Against all odds, all 3 triplets are born breathing and healthy, small, but strong enough to fight. Nia is exhausted, but stable, and the miracle of her 3 children defies every negative medical prognosis they'd received months prior. Years pass, and the triplets grow into curious, kind, thoughtful children. They notice small things no one else does. Their mom smiles often, but carries quiet sorrow in her eyes when she thinks no one is watching. One day, they ask Malik if their mom is truly happy. Malik explains that happiness isn't always a constant state. It's something Nia has earned through endless struggle, strength, and resilience, with her 3 children as her greatest motivation to keep growing stronger every day. Watching Nia raise 3 children alone, navigate trauma, and build a beautiful life against all odds only deepens Malik's love for her. He's seen every part of her, the strength, the grief, the kindness, the resilience, and he chooses her deliberately, every single day. He proposes to her sincerely, not out of obligation, pity, or gratitude for her past help, but because he truly loves her and wants to build a permanent life with her and her kids. Nia turns him down gently, with honest kindness. She loves Malik deeply, and recognizes how much he's done for her and her children. But she refuses to marry him out of gratitude. Her heart is still healing, still fractured from her past trauma, and she refuses to give him a half-healed, incomplete love. He deserves someone whole, someone who chooses him purely for who he is, not because he was her only support in her darkest days. Still, Malik refuses to walk away, promising to stay by her side, to keep trying, to keep loving her patiently for as long as she needs. Parallel to Nia's peaceful, hard-won life, Ethan's life unfolds in quiet regret and emptiness. In the years after their breakup, he's haunted by his choice to stay silent, to let his family's legacy override his love, to lose the woman who loved him unconditionally. His mother continues to push him to uphold the Carter name, convincing him his breakup with Nia was necessary for his family's future, dismissing his grief as unnecessary weakness. Pressured by his family, Ethan agrees to meet, and eventually gets engaged to Janelle Brooks, a woman from a prestigious socially elite family who checks every box for the Carter legacy. On the surface, their engagement is perfect, exactly the union his family always wanted for him. But Ethan's heart is never fully in it. He carries unspoken regret for Nia every single day. During pre-wedding medical checks, Ethan and his fiancée receive news of reproductive challenges yet again. This time, Ethan is forced to confront his past mistakes head-on. He finally admits the truth he's hidden from everyone. He failed Nia completely years ago. He let his family's judgment break their relationship, stayed silent when she needed him most, and abandoned her when things got hard. As the triplets grow older, their curiosity about their absent father grows too. They ask Nia why they don't have a dad like their classmates, if their father knows they exist, if he ever thinks about them. With gentle honesty, Nia finally tells them the truth. She loved their father deeply in college, but painful circumstances and cruel outside pressure tore them apart. She left before she discovered she was pregnant, so Ethan has no idea he has. She refuses to paint Ethan as a villain, choosing instead to let her kids form their own opinions when they're older, but admits his choices hurt her deeply. The children's unrelenting questions push Nia to make a life-changing decision. She's no longer willing to protect her own heart at her kids' expense. They deserve to know their father, to end the lifelong uncertainty of who they are and where they come from. With Malik's full support, she decides to take the triplets to meet Ethan at the Carter family estate, ready to face the past once and for all. Malik handles every detail to make the journey calm and stress-free for the kids, arranging a private jet to avoid hours of tiring travel. He reassures Nia and the children that no matter what happens, their little family of 4 is enough, and he will always be their safe place to land. The kids alternate between excitement and nervousness on the flight, wondering what their dad will be like. If he'll love them, if he'll want them. The moment of reckoning arrives on Ethan's wedding day. As he stands at the altar, moments away from marrying Janelle, he locks eyes with 3 small children, who share his exact features. His eyes, his smile, his facial structure. The entire wedding venue falls silent, as Nia and the triplets walk in, interrupting the perfect legacy wedding his family spent years orchestrating. Janelle sees the truth instantly. She calls off the wedding on the spot, refusing to marry a man carrying years of hidden secrets, unresolved regret, and unfulfilled responsibility. She tells Ethan she deserves a partner with a whole heart, fully present in their future, not someone forever tethered to a past he abandoned with grace and clarity. She walks away from the empty, perfect life they were supposed to build together. Left alone with the children he never knew existed, Ethan breaks down completely. He admits every mistake, every failure, every moment of cowardice. He confesses he never searched for Nia after their breakup, never apologized for staying silent, while his mother degraded her, never fought for the love and future they'd planned together. He owns every single year of lost time, every missed moment with his children. The oldest child, Eden, asks the hardest question of all: will he disappear again? Ethan has no empty promises to give. He tells them truthfully that they have no reason to trust him yet, no reason to believe he'll stay. All he can do is show up consistently, every single day, for as long as it takes, to earn their trust and their love. He commits to being present, reliable and intentional. No more convenient visits, no more half-hearted effort, no more running from hard moments. In a long overdue confrontation with his mother, Ethan holds her accountable for her role in destroying his life and his family. He tells her plainly that her obsession with legacy, status, and perfection created the toxic environment that forced Nia to leave. Her cold practicality, judgment, and cruelty disguised as family protection cost him years with his children, and the only woman he ever truly loved. He admits his own cowardice in failing to stand up for what's right, but makes it clear her priorities and manipulation were the root of all their pain. From that day forward, he vows to live for his own family, not her idea of legacy. Humbled by the irreversible damage she's caused, Ethan's mother eventually comes to Nia to offer a sincere apology. She admits she masked cruelty as practicality, prioritized status over humanity, and destroyed a beautiful future out of misplaced pride and obsession with the Carter name. Nia chooses not to offer immediate forgiveness, acknowledging that healing takes time. But she leaves the door open for the grandmother to meet her grandchildren. When the time is right, in the quiet days after the confrontation, Ethan works tirelessly to rebuild broken bonds. He shows up for his kids every single day, learning their personalities, their likes and dislikes, their fears and dreams. He apologizes to Nia for every hurt, every failure, every moment he chose silence and legacy over love. He asks for a chance to be better for her too, not to rewrite the past, but to build a new, kinder future together if she's ever ready. Nia's answer is honest and hopeful. The door is not closed, but she's not ready to open it yet. She sees the growth and change in Ethan, but her healing and her children's peace come first. Through every uncertain moment, Malik remains her steady anchor, reassuring her that her children's love for him is unshakable, no matter how the dynamic with Ethan evolves. In the end, this story is not just about heartbreak or redemption. It's about choosing humanity over legacy, love over pride, and second chances over lifelong regret.